All right, hello, hello. Listen, for those of you who are watching live, I apologize for the delay. Something is trying to tickle my throat or whatever. So you know it is going to be good. Anytime something tries to keep me from saying the things, I find out later, people are like, oh my gosh, it was so good. So I'm glad that I was able to get it out. I have my water here just in case something wants to do something weird, but we're going to get into it because this is all about setting you up for the new year. I know that we are in December and you guys are still trying to go out and hustle and bustle and get the last gifts and all that kind of stuff. But once all of that settles, the next thing we look forward to is that new year. And it's like, new year, new you, boo, right? That's what you're looking forward to. But the thing is, how do we do it? So today I'm going to talk about some simple steps because we do not have to wait until the new year to start putting some things in place. Now, do we have to start the resolution just yet and start it? Not necessarily, but I want you to start thinking about it. And the big thing we'll talk about is like preparation and how important that is because I want to make sure that you are successful and you are healthy and you are happy in the new year and that 2024 is exactly what you want it to be and more. Okay. If this is your first time joining, I am Dr. Ashley Booth. I'm a board certified family medicine physician, and I provide practical health tips and tools that you can use in your everyday life. Because what I understand is that life affects your health. Now, if you are watching live, go ahead and say hello. Tell me where you are watching from. If you are catching it later, still say hello because I love to know that you watched and if you got some information out of it that made sense to you. So still let me know what is going on. Share this with other people because there are a ton of people who are trying to figure out how they're going to make those changes in the new year. So you share. Also follow and put your like notification bell on so you know, okay, she's live. I need to watch and pay attention. But let's go ahead and get into it, okay? One of the reasons why I wanted to do this too is because I found out that 40% of people who set a New Year's resolution, only 40% still keep it up after 1 month. So in January, at the end of January, only 40% of people are still continuing to do the things and still achieving. How many do you think are still like crushing their goals and reaching where they want to go by the end of the year? Only 10%. Only 10% of the people are reaching their goals at the end of the year. And it's not for a lack of willpower. That's not what it is. It is not for a lack of willpower. Because some people say, well, I just didn't do this enough. What it is it is a lack of putting systems in place. So we're going to talk about those systems and what you can put in place so that you can be a part of that 10%. Okay. And you say, I did the things and I got them done because reaching our goals, one of the things that I think gets us off track from reaching them is because we think of the end point. I know myself, I love to do DIY projects. And I think of the end point. I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to look so good. But then you have to think about the preparation. And that's one of the steps that we're like, oh, I don't want to. Okay, listen, I'm just going to start the project. But we're going to talk about how important it is to put these different systems in place because we are intentional about, or we have good intentions, and we say, I want to start this New Year's resolution. But we have to be intentional about making sure that we put those things in place so that we are successful. So, the very first thing I want you to do and to think about is you have to decide that you want to achieve it, whatever it is that you want to achieve. And people are like, duh, I know what I want to do. Okay, great. There's some that are still kind of like, well, do I want to do this? I want to do that. Whatever it is, decide if that is exercising, if that is eating healthier, if that is reading books, whatever your thing is, being nicer and kinder to people and trying to figure out how you can do that. Whatever that is, decide, pick one because sometimes we have like 10, 15 things, whatever it is that you want to achieve, but it's like, how do I get there? Or like, I'm overwhelmed because which one do I do? Figure out which one you want to do, pick it, and then work on that. Get really good at it. Start seeing the results. Okay, this is doing good. Then you can add something else. Because once we start adding too many things, we get overwhelmed, and overwhelmed says, I'm not doing anything, right? So we don't want to do that. The second thing that you want to do is you have to think about how you want to get there. So you have to determine how you want to get and achieve your goals. One of the things that you can do that I talk about all the time are your SMART goals. They are specific, they're measurable, it's something that you know that you can attain. They're realistic and they're time bound. So that means that there's a specific amount of time that you want to do it. You know how you're going to like put the things in place to get it done. They are really good. And I did a video on that. I will link that, and I'll also link the worksheet to my SMART goals. You can start putting in there. You can either print it out and write on it. You can actually edit it and type on it and put the information in there. But I explain really well how to do your SMART goals because they are phenomenal with helping you get to the next level. You can get an accountability partner. That is always good. And you want to get somebody who is going to be kind of tough, someone that you may not like, but you appreciate because this person is going to say, hey, I know you said you wanted to go to the gym. You said you were going to go in the morning. It is 5 a.m. Are you headed that way or whatever? So you want somebody who is still going to hold your feet to the fire to make sure that you are still doing those things that you want to do. Get you something that can help you be accountable to yourself or help you know how to get there. A lot of you know that I just finished running my 5K. I used an app. That app says you have 8 weeks to get it done. And then in those 8 weeks, we're going to do so many days a week and all of that. So it mapped out and told me, if you follow this, you'll be able to run the 5K. I followed it. And guess what? I ran the 5K. I'm super excited about that. So you want to, so that's how I know for a fact that things like an app or any of those kind of stuff can help guide you and get you where you want to be. So you want to figure that out. Some people doing like journaling, they say, okay, I want to make sure that my mindset is right. Okay, so they have this journal that walks them through prompts every day. And they say, this is what you want to do to make sure that your mindset is okay. Whatever it is, find that tool that's going to help you and make sure that you are staying on track to help get you where you need to go. The third thing is preparation. So we talked about deciding on what you want, then determine how you're going to get there. The third thing is preparation, and that's one of the biggest ones, but it's one of the ones that we really don't want to do. Like seriously. And one of the reasons why we don't want to do it because like I said, we have in our mind we say, "You know what? This is the end goal and I just want to reach the end goal." And we want to reach our success and we want to reach it and get there fast, but this is a process, right? I have walked into many a DIY projects and I know that if I go into it where I just want to get it done, then one, I'm not as happy about it when I'm doing it because I'm like, this is not working out, and then I forgot this and then I forgot that. But then the other thing is it becomes frustrating because you have to stop the project because, oh, I forgot this. And it could be the simple things, right? Like I was trying to make cornbread the other day, and the recipe that I had called for buttermilk. I had no buttermilk. I had everything else, but I forgot the buttermilk. And it's like, like, so now I'm all upset because now this kind of throws off everything else that I was thinking about, and it's just that one simple thing. So you want to make sure that you have all of the things that you need and they are in place. Like for instance, if you want to go to the gym, okay, great. What days are you going to go? All right. Then what time do you need to leave to get there? Because if you're going to go to the gym, then you have to get there and you have to know that I have to get there at a certain time. And I know this all seems basic, but these are the things that people don't think about a lot of times because you say, oh, I'm going to go and I'm be there at 5 a.m. That means you got to get up at a certain time. You have to leave at a certain time because it's going to take so much travel time to get there. Then you have to travel back. Are you going to shower there and put your clothes on, go straight to work? Are you going to come home and do the things? And then, so it can be time consuming. And a lot of times, once you get into something like that, you realize just how much time it takes. It's like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to do this. But once you're prepared and you think through all the steps of what you have to do, you say, well, maybe I won't go to the gym or I won't go to the gym so many days. So it's other days I can do some exercises at home. So it helps you to pivot. It helps you to be a lot more flexible. It definitely decreases your frustration that you have about it. Because once you are frustrated and you have to take extra time to do something, you're like, you know what, I'm over this. I don't really want to do it. And a lot of times you don't continue it. So you want to think about that. You also want to kind of slow it down. Like I said, think of it, it is a process. If you are trying to reach whatever goal, a lot of times while we're trying to reach them is because there's something that we want to improve upon. There's something else that we want to gain. That means that that's something that we don't have. It takes time to develop it. So, yes, you look at the end goal and say, this is where I want to go, but this is where I am now. And so that brings me to my fourth point, which is grace. You want to give yourself some grace because this is a new thing, because this is something that you are trying to achieve, things are going to knock you off track. You are going to say, well, man, I didn't reach my goal today. I didn't drink as much water as I thought I was going to drink. Whatever it is, you have tomorrow. You still have some time that day. Drink a couple of more sips that day and say, okay, at least got a couple more sips in. Tomorrow, I'm going to make sure that I really stay focused and intentional on what it is that I said I was going to do and do it. Things are going to knock you off. Things are going to creep back in. Old habits are going to show themselves, but you just stay proficient with what it is that you really want to do. Figure out what's working. Whatever is working, that's the thing that you want to keep doing. If something else is just this is not clicking, then we have to figure out, okay, what else is it that we need to tweak with this or make better, so that way you can get what it is that you need to do. The other thing is understanding where you're starting from. Like I said, we all have these different areas that we want to improve because we're not there yet, right? So we want to improve it. That means that we are starting from a certain level. Like, I know people, there's one person that I know that was telling me they wanted a six pack. That is an awesome goal. Where are you starting from? Are you already lean and you just need to like tone up? Okay. So then you know these are the things I have to do. Do you have a little extra love in some places? And so now I have to lose some of that, then firm up and tone up. But you have to figure out where you are. Once I figure out where I am, then I know, okay, these are the steps that I need to take to get there. And this is about how long it's going to take. That helps you with those smart goals, helping you to be realistic, helping you to stay encouraged, because sometimes people say, well, I tried this for a couple of weeks and it didn't work. We have to do it for much longer than that. We have to keep staying the course, keep figuring out, okay, this is working, this is not, make the adjustments. So once you find out where you are, you have to do that in all aspects, emotionally, mentally, physically. And with me, especially physically, that is your health. There are a lot of people who are walking around who don't know that they potentially have some things that could be working against them, right? I'm trying to lose weight, but it seems like I just keep gaining weight. You may have an issue with your thyroid. You may have an issue with something else. You have no idea because you probably haven't seen your doctor in quite some time, right? That's okay. That's where you want to go ahead and get that checkup. Do you a basic physical so that you can see, okay, where am I? Physicals make sense for people when you say, you know what, I really don't have any concerns, but I just want to make sure that I'm okay. Nothing is hurting, nothing has changed. I just want to make sure that I'm okay. So that way you know where you're starting from. I talked about last week or a couple of weeks ago about diabetes and how a lot of people, like 70% of the people, don't know that they have it. Walking around, like, think about that, like pre-diabetes for sure. Walking around and don't know that they have it because a lot of times it's asymptomatic and you wouldn't know. But that could be working against you, especially as you're trying to reach certain goals. So do a physical, get your checkup. We do physicals. I know I talk a lot about our membership and stuff like that, but we also provide physicals for people who say, I don't have anything going on, have no concerns. I just want to get a baseline. And our physical is comprehensive. We're asking you the questions. We're looking at the family history. We're going to do some labs and we're figuring out what those labs are. And then we do a complimentary follow up to discuss said labs. A lot of people are getting labs and they say, you know what? They say everything was fine. And I said, what's everything? I don't know. I think they checked my thyroid. I think they checked my B12. Some of those labs are not standard, especially depending on what you're looking for. So they may not have checked that. So if you don't know what these labs mean, and just because you get them back and they all look normal, what did they check? What is normal? So if you're interested in that, I have my website that's on there, my link, thehealingbtspc.com. So you can go there, check out our physical, see what it's all about, call us and get it scheduled. The other ones, it's like if you have something, you say, you know what, I have been gaining weight. I've been doing all the things to try to lose weight. I'm concerned. Is it my thyroid? Is it something else? The membership will make more sense because then you have more time to figure it out. You have more visits to go ahead and figure out what's going on, to see, okay, this is what's going on. And these are some things that we need to put in place. We continue to monitor and make sure things are okay. We go through that health coaching and help you get and reach your health goals. So that is some of the things that you want to kind of start thinking about. Getting with your primary care doctor, talking to them about what is going on, speaking up. I'm concerned about this, I'm concerned about that. But this is a perfect time and perfect opportunity to go ahead and start jump starting some of those things. I have a lot of people who say, well, I saw my doctor last week. What did you see them for? If you saw them for something acute or something that oh, I had a runny nose or I had this, they were not checking all the things. So you want to just get that basic checkup. It's like when you take your car in and they do it and they service it. If you go in because it's making a noise, they're not checking all the other stuff to see if everything's okay. Some of them will check a little this and that, and they'll come back and say, "Oh, this is also wrong. This is also wrong," and do a whole diagnostic thing. But a lot of times you want those things that are not going to cause an issue for you. So you want to make sure that you have that discussion with your primary doctor to see, okay, what is going to make the most sense for us, right? The next thing that you want to do is, as you have done your physical and you have done, if when you've done your physical and everything, then you say, okay, I'm good. Then they can take you to the next level of where you need to be, and then they can walk you through it. Sorry, guys. Like all the people want to reach me now that I am doing the things today. So I apologize for the interruption. But a- after all is said and done, make sure that you go ahead and jumpstart your January so everything is back on track. It is where you want it to be. So that way you can get to where you want to be. Because at the end of the day, the goal is for you to be healthy, happy, and successful so that you can reach these goals, so that you can live your best life, so that 2024 can be absolutely amazing. So this is going to be my last show for the year. So I am wishing you much healing, much success, much happiness. I am definitely going to come back next year. You know, I'm going to be checking in with you to see how are you doing, what is going on. Be sure to send me the love, send me the text and the messages, and let me know what you want to talk about, what you want to hear in the new year, so that we can start talking about those things that you're interested in. But until next time, I will see you soon, and take care.